What do you want the world to know about you?
Yeah, I think I'm a work in progress, and I think the more I articulate to the world that I've got it all figured out, probably the least I have figured out, and I want to keep questioning. But I think the biggest thing, I guess I almost look at it as like an accountability question, that the more it seems like I know what I'm talking about, probably the more that I probably don't at that point in time. I'm a father. I have 2 kids of my own, and I've got a 13-year-old niece who lives with us well. So being a father is an outlet for creative expression, and really every day waking up and creating a world that's going to be great for them to live into, and to be a model of who I think they think I should be. I don't know, not who they think I should be, but how I should be actually operating. So fatherhood is definitely a creative and emotional spirit, and it's, again, going back to what I said before, and it's I think like martial arts. It's with parenting. That's really the what I realized becoming a parent, that the more you can't have it handled. There's no way to have parenting handled, and that's pretty exciting, and there's no right answer. I can't tell you what it's like for you to be a parent. So those are definitely creative expressions, because there's things that are never solvable. From a professional standpoint, I do a couple of different things. I have 2 pretty diverse. I work one of the largest banks in the world, and kind of navigating through the waters of being part of that culture, and really I think I appreciate being part of it. I appreciate what the company brings, and also kind of understanding that there's a lot of confusion inside of these large corporations, and but it's well-intended people, and these huge animals that are kind of that don't necessarily know how they exist. But so being able to survive in and being able to operate and thrive in some of that environments, realizing that we're probably the last generation of people that's going to be able to work inside of large corporations and support families inside of large corporations, and that's going away. So I'm being very thankful inside of that. And then I talk a lot. My social media outlet, which how we met, probably how I'm sitting here today. I have I started about a year ago on, not even less than that actually, about 6 months ago, on a platform called Soundcloud. I think I'm probably the most active person on Soundcloud. I have over 1,600 tracks as we speak, and I spend most of my time just talking about people and things that inspire me, as a way to get an idea out there, to share an idea, because I think an idea is, if it's rattling around inside of my head, it's not out there in the world. I can't do anything in the world, but it's also weighing me down. So the second I do my stuff on my iPhone, the second I turn on the phone and start to talk, I've got a victory, because an idea is actually out there. So talking and sharing is a creative outlet. It's an emotional outlet. That's a tough question. I'm probably gonna, emotional. I think emotional outlets are tied into. That's a tough one. An emotional outlet. Because I tie the emotions into creativity, and it's inside of the talking is being kind of leaving it all, I guess, out there in the going to sleep at night and feeling like, wow, I did my best to really connect to other people and to help other people. Then I feel like when I kind of feel emotionally empty is not the right word, but kind of all used up for the day, the ultimate form of communication, I think, is silence, when we have that, when there's a feeling, and then there's a connection between 2 people or multiple people, and you just kind of know how, and nothing else needs to be said, nothing else needs to be done, nothing else needs to be expressed.
How do you plan on getting your kids ready for the world they are about to enter?
So how do I plan? The best answer is to stay out of the way as much as possible. I mean, I do believe that, although I think I've spent a ton of time equipping myself to be a father, and I've thought about this, a lot of the fathering and the parenting stuff, long before I was a father. So I can confidently say that I was probably more prepared than most parents to become a father. That being said, I'm also aware that there are a lot, that they're a lot more aware and a lot more pure than I am. So it's a matter of really staying out of the way and guiding. And if I have some tip, I mean, my belief is, would introduce QFAZE, and I was introduced to QFAZE when somebody who I work with right now is 21 years old, who's probably more intelligent than I am at 38 years old. We started talking about quantum computing, and I realized my understanding of what quantum computing actually is going to be is, one computer is going to be more powerful than all the rest of the computers combined before that. And then the second quantum computer is going to be more powerful than that first quantum computer than all the other quantum computers before that, which means that nothing that happened in the past is going to have any real significant value going forward into the future. So from the positive standpoint, there is, how I can prepare them. So they have to be creators every single day, and they get to be creators every single day. And I have to get myself I get that 100% in here, but I got to get myself to get it 100% in here, because that is the truth of the future in my eyes, and demonstrate that in a way where it can rub off on them. Leaders are the ones who are willing to, go through the struggle of putting themselves out there when people aren't listening to them. I think it was a Gandhi quote, but it might not have been a Gandhi quote. It says, first they ignore you, and then they fight you, and then they win. And most people don't get through that ignored phase, let alone that phase when people are actually fighting them, potentially wanting to kill them. So it's really the people who are willing to stay in the game long enough to follow their beliefs when there's going to be resistance and fighting against them. And I think that's really the difference, to have the I don't know if it's the foresight or the willpower or the vision or the internal power to really stay in the game, and to follow through on the thought, because we all have those leadership thoughts, but follow through those thoughts, and to have the conviction to actually stay in the game long enough to make a difference.